Hi guys, this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. A happy Good Friday to you guys. I hope that you guys are at home and relaxed and enjoying the goodness of the Lord and enjoying that which the Lord has, done in the works of the cross and just enjoying salvation and that which Jesus did for us on the cross. We are still going to be reading the book of Psalms. We are going to look at Psalms chapter 52, and I'm going to be reading this chapter from the from the easy to read version, which is the ERV, easy to read version, ERV. I really like this version because it breaks down the word of God in simple English that I can understand. So this chapter was written to be given to the choir master. It's written by David, and it was written when this guy called Doeg, the Edomite, went to Saul and told him that David had been spotted at the Ahimelech's house. Let me give you guys context. Context. So when King Saul was trying to kill David, Doeg, one of Saul's servants, had a chance of meeting with David at a place called Nob. Doeg reported David's whereabouts to Saul and told Saul that the priest who lived at Nob had given David provisions. Saul was very angry with the priests and ordered that Doeg kills all of them. And Doeg killed 85 priests of the Lord and destroyed the city. This story can be found in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 21 in verse 22. All right, so this is basically a psalm that David is writing in condemnation of Doeg's evil action. All right, so this is what it says. Great warrior, why are you bragging about the evil you did? You are a disgrace to God. You are nothing but a hired killer. I'm almost saying you're nothing but a hired goon. Making plans to hurt people and making up lies. You love evil more than you love goodness, and you love lies more than the truth. That sounds like a typical illustration of who Satan is. That he loves evil more than he loves good, and he loves lies more than he loves truth. Verse 4, it says, you and your lying tongue love to hurt people, so God will ruin you forever. He will grab you and pull you from your house, like someone pulling a plant by the roots. Good people will see this and learn to fear and respect God. They will laugh at you and say, look at what happened to the warrior who did not depend on God. That fool thought his wealth and lies would protect him. But I am like a green olive tree growing in God's temple. I would trust God's faithful love forever and ever. God, I praise you forever for what you have done. I will speak your name before your followers because it is so good. All right, so in this chapter, David is describing Doeg as a man whose tongue plotted destruction, a hired killer, a hired goon, as a worker of deceit, and someone who loved evil more than loved good, and someone who lied more than he spoke the truth. This psalm can leave you wondering, aren't you supposed to be praying for people to be saved, not for people to be destroyed? But one thing to keep in mind is that this psalm of cursing, or these psalms that are basically David praying or cursing people who are doing evil, are generally directed to very wicked people. This guy killed 85 priests, not civilians, priests. These are not psalms that are calling for death for a neighbor who did not attend service or a church, or a distraction of an employee who cheats, who doesn't come to work in good time. Like, yes, every person sins, and that is clear from the Bible. But I do think that there's a distinction to be made between this kind of sinner and people who are actively intentional. By this kind of sinner, I mean the daily kind of sinner who comes to work late, does not go to church, and these people who are intentional, consciously fighting against God and promoting evil in the earth. They champion evil, they fight for evil, they have corrupted their souls, they promote evil, and then they go ahead to evangelize evil, hoping to make converts, like hoping to convert people into evil, wicked things. Jesus said this in Luke chapter 17, verse 2. It says, it would be better for him. By him means the person who causes the little ones to sin. It says, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he was cast into the sea, than that he should cause one of these little ones to sin. That is the description Jesus said. Yani ule mtu mwenye ana cause watu wengine kusin. There's one thing to sin. Then there's another thing to be a promoter of evil. You're the champion of evil. You're evangelizing evil. You're causing converting people to evil. Those are the ones that Jesus was saying. Huyu afadhali afungiliwe jiwe atupwe kwenye ocean. This is the thing is, I wouldn't encourage you, of course, to pray curses over your church skipping neighbors and, neighbor who parks at your parking spot. Kwanza me, there's a neighbor that had been terrorizing me by parking at my spot, and I would come home and find no place to park. And man, yeah, I really prayed her out of this estate, and she actually moved out. But I'm not encouraging to pray curses over people for their daily sins. But I think the Bible teaches us that it is appropriate for us to pray for the downfall of the enemies of God who are actively working against humanity, seemingly working for the devil, and are hell-bent on destroying the lives of others. The people who are just hell-bent on destroying people's lives. The people who are hell-bent on working against humanity, working against God. They seemingly, wanakanikama, they are partners with the devil because of just the things that they are doing. Oh my goodness. There's a space for us to pray against those people. There's a place for us to pray for the downfall of those people in the Word of God. It is there. We have seen David doing it. He's done it, like even in the some couple of chapters that we have read before, where he's praying against his enemies. He's praying against those people that are champions of evil, those people who are evangelizing evil and making converts. I don't know why this word converts converts. There's people who are just fighting against God. They're intentional about it. They are being active. They're being cautious about their promoting evil in the world. There is a space for believers to pray for the downfall of the enemies of God. So do not feel guilty when you're praying for a downfall of such kind of people who are working against humanity. They are literally working for the devil, or you can actually, huyu na shetani wako in the same WhatsApp group. People who are just hell-bent on destroying the lives of other people. So yeah, that's sort of the record. That's what I've learned from this chapter, that there's a space for such prayer. There's a space for us to actually pray against those that are working against God. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next week.